Anyways, I had a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. I recently like sort of found out that like one of my, I wouldn't say like I wouldn't call them a friend, but anyways, I found out that like like they're like trying to date like multiple people, which like I don't have a problem with that, and like I don't. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I don't necessarily have a problem that they're doing it. But like I just feel bad like for people who know like who are sort of like lost in that sense, and like I was trying to say that like a lot of people are lost in the sense that like they don't know, like they're always trying to like focus on like, oh okay, like I want to have a partner, whatever, like they're so focused on the fact that like, oh, they're like alone or whatever, that they forget that like their actions or like the things that they're doing, they're not necessarily bringing them closer to finding the right partner, but they're not doing the right things to find the right partner. They're just sort of like doing what the mass is doing, which a lot of people are clueless. And like I'm not trying to say that like I'm like, oh, like I'm so wise and like whatever. There was this quote that I sort of like heard the other day. It said that the wisest man knows how unwise he is, and that goes to the fact that like there's always like so many things that you could like learn about the world, whatever, like like you can never be the wisest person, or like you can never be wise, because there's always something that you could learn and like something that you could like sort of like get better at. That was yeah, that was crazy. I forgot what I was saying. Anyways, I think I was talking about like people being wise, and like there's always something that you could learn. There's always something that you could get better at, and like sort of, I don't know, improve your skills, whatever. I don't even know. I feel like I lost my chain of thought. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people are like clueless in that sense, and like they're always trying to like follow what the mass is doing, or like whatever other people are doing, and like trying to like follow that. And like I feel like people need like better people to follow, if that makes sense. And like if your role model is sort of someone who is like if they don't have a stable relationship in their own lives, like I feel like following that kind of a person, or like having those sorts of like mindsets to like find the right person, like I don't think that's gonna lead you anywhere close to where you want to be. I mean, at least for me, because like I have like certain goals to like find the right partner or whatever, and I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But yeah, like you gotta like first of all you gotta listen to yourself, that like, oh, like what is it that I want, and like what is something that I want in a partner. Not like like regardless of what other people on social media are like posting, or like this institutional version of like, okay, like this is what love looks like, whatever. Like yeah, like you gotta like talk to yourself in that sense. And like a lot of people, like not a lot of people know how to like talk to themselves in that sense, that like they don't know how to figure out what they want, and like they don't necessarily know how to talk to that like version of themselves. I feel like I'm like not making any sense, but it makes sense to me because like I've already done it. But yeah, I guess I'm just trying to say that like you gotta listen to yourself more rather than other people, or like what social media is showing, or like what the latest trend is. I'm not trying to say that like, oh, like I know what the right way is. Like I'm not trying to be a like guru or something, like trying to like say that like, oh, like follow me guys, like I know everything, whatever. Like I know like I'm not like I know that I'm not the wisest person, I guess that's the best way I could say it. But yeah, I feel like at least I know like I trust myself to the point that like I know that I'm in the right direction, and like I know that this is gonna lead me somewhere good, because I've always, I've always trusted myself, but I've always like delayed it so much so that like, oh, like I should maybe, like I've always done it like really slow, in the sense that like, okay, like baby steps, whatever, like, but this time I'm like, you know what, we're gonna like go all in, and like just doing whatever I think is like right. And like I know that if I trust myself that way, like I know I'm gonna do the right things and like find the right person, whatever. Not even just in a sense of like, oh, like relationship, whatever, but even just like in a normal sense of like life, like whether that is like career, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there was just another thing that like one of my friends, like not friends, like one of my coworkers, and like she's really old, and like she told me that like you'll go through with like a lot of relationships to find the right person. But I'm not saying that, like that's wrong, that like you'll find the right person like in your first relationships. For some people it's true, but I guess what I'm trying to say is like you should try to but like you should try to learn how to like judge other people, not like in a sense of like, oh, like like a guy just in the car like passed by and he's like, what is this guy doing? Yeah, that sort of like made me awkward, but whatever. That's the thing, like you gotta learn how to like get over these things, and like sort of like still have that mindset of like, okay, like I know what I'm doing, you know what I mean? Like obviously it's not gonna make sense to like everyone else, that like I don't even know what I'm saying. My coworker, she was saying that like, oh, you're gonna go through like a lot of relationships to like find the right person, but I don't think that's true. I think like if you learn the ability to I don't think judge is a good word, but if you learn the ability to like know a person for who they are without them like expressing it, that's like a good trait to have. And like I feel like it's really helpful, because like that way you can understand what your needs are first, because like obviously you need to know yourself first to know other people. There's like a really good quote about it that I wanted to say, but I can't remember it. Yeah, you can only meet people as far as you've met yourself. And that's the thing, like if you can, like sort of, if you try to understand yourself better, and yeah, it's gonna be easier for you to like notice those things in like other people. And yeah, it's a really good trait to have. And yeah, like I don't think that's true. Like I feel like if you learn the ability to know people for who they are and sort of get better at it, I feel like it'll be easier for you to like find the right person, because then you'll know it right away that like, oh, like this person is not for me. And like I feel like people who don't have that ability seem to get like like charmed into relationships, and like like they don't necessarily know like the red flags, whatever, and like they don't necessarily know what that person's intentions are. Like out of like topic, but like how like I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna put that in the video, but that guy like that went past, like I know like like obviously if that person like said that right in front of my face, I feel like I would have like handled it better, and like, oh, like I'm just trying to record a podcast, whatever, like I'm trying to post something on YouTube, whatever. Like I feel like I would have like dealt it better but it's harder when like when people say something bad about you without you knowing. Like it's hard for you to like defend yourself, and like not even defend yourself, but like like it's sort of like a one-way conversation where you don't even get to speak. And like I'm not saying that like I would get like if someone told me that like, oh, like that person was talking shit about you, like obviously I wouldn't get mad, but I would get sad. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like you know, like it's harder to like not be able to like defend yourself in that sense, and like obviously you just gotta kind of like get used to it. But what was my point? Yeah, it's hard for you to like defend yourself in that position that like, oh, like they're just like, I don't even know what their, you know, like argument is, or like what their point is, like why they don't like me, whatever. And like this is something that you gotta get used to, that like people are gonna be like that, and like people are not gonna like you without a valid reason. And like that's just and it's not even that they don't like you in a sense, like it's just that like they just hate like things that don't make sense to them, if that makes sense. And like some people are just like that. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, honestly, the best way to, you know, like coming back to the main topic, the best way to sort of like find the right person is to like love yourself. And not, I don't mean that in a corny way that like, oh, like, you know, like do self-care, like, you know, like go for walks, whatever. I mean, obviously do that, but like understand yourself, like understand the things that you do, like even the bad ones, if that makes sense. Like even the things that you do that you know are bad for you, like understand why are you doing that, and like try to figure it out. And like that's obviously that's gonna help you to like improve yourself. Like it's gonna help you to you know, like get better in general. And but also like it's gonna, you know, like help you figure out why other people do those things, and like just to be able to, you know, like connect those things to like other situations in your life. And like I said earlier, like the ability to sort of like understand other people is gonna get better. And but yeah, I think that's it. It's so funny, I was thinking about this earlier, and like one thing that came to my mind was like, is loving yourself truly truly gay? That's just so funny. Maybe I should, you know, like use that as my title. I don't know. I don't know why. Like I'm trying to fight the gay allegations. God, what the fuck? But yeah, like I'm definitely not doing that. I think that's it for this video. Hopefully I'll post it today. But yeah. Hey, let's go. I think that's it. I'm gonna write something, you know, journal, and then it's gonna be a chill day. By the way, like the rain is giving like fucking fake ass fucking thunderstorms. Not thunderstorm, just the thunder. Bro, oh my god, bro, that's crazy. There's two people like in front of, like in the house right across, and like while I was doing that, they just saw me. It was so weird. Anyways, yeah, maybe I should have picked a better spot, but I don't know, like this spot is like actually so good. Wait, you know what, let me show you guys. Like sugar on my tongue. Like it's like a chill little thing, and like it's also got a nice view like over there. But yeah, like this is where I sort of like journal and like read books, stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty chill, me likey. But yeah, anyways guys, I think I'm gonna go journal a little bit, put my thoughts down, goals down, shit like that, type shit, you know what I'm saying, type shit, let's go. Anyways, I think that's it for today. See you guys later.